Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in again. Brian here, and welcome back to Little Green Girl. Our little green girl turned out to be a young lady named Yana. She's come to our school in typical anime fashion, because why the hell not? She has agreed to go and help us get closer to Kristina, as long as we go ahead and help her observe human society. Preferably seniors, because they're like so full of emotions and stuff like that. And the whole reason why they're there is to go ahead and take care of emotions, learn from our emotions, because they have none of their own, or rather they do, but it's not all meshed into one little neat bowl. Yeah, I'm gonna say bowl, like ours are. But anyways, let's continue. I feel like I'm having it all at once, and it's too much. They see the robot, I really won't be able to just tell that I made it as a physics homework or something. What are we gonna do? We can trap it in an enclosed space. If I can touch it, I'd be able to zap it and reboot the system. An enclosed space? What about an empty classroom? Yes, it should be perfect. Great, let's get back. Find an empty classroom and trap it there. How's my plan sound? Like garbage. It's not gonna work. There are many people in the school building. They might see us. The bell is gonna ring shortly. However, hallways will be free of people. The robot acted like it was a frightened crab, hiding among flower beds and shrubs. However, it did follow me around when I walked away far enough from him. I took off my jacket and gave it to Yana. Take it. I am not cold. Just use a jacket if someone will notice us, understood? I understood. I will throw your jacket if anything. I stopped for a second to think and decided to make the situation clearer. You cover the robot with a jacket, not the one who might walk past it. Yana nodded, dead serious. The robot, right. I understood everything. I don't think she did. We were lucky, though, and were able to sneak into the academy hallways with no witnesses. There was no point entering a classroom with studying children. We could still use a restroom, the mop closet, or that unsigned room. The latter had an official name. It was called the Office of Activities Arrangement, but was simply shortened to the Room of the Student Council. We didn't have any council, however, but it bothered no one. In here. Got it. Close the door, and we weren't. Of course. Thing decides to go all psycho crazy on us, didn't it? As soon as the door was closed, the robot squealed, almost with ultrasonic, and began panicking, throwing itself on walls and the door, trying to escape. Rise of the machines. It made a wreck out of the office and then finally stepped on the table, hooting alarmingly with the spider legs faltering. Be careful. It might accidentally scratch you if you try to grab it. What should I do? When I saw a cumulator cell gonna run out. In 220 Earth years approximately. We cannot wait that long. Yeah, let's act how we wanted to act at the first place. I'll capture it, and you try and quickly touch it after that. Hey, little guy, Spidey buddy, bubbly, ballsy, Don't run away, please. Mumbling soothingly, I crept closer and finally grabbed it with my hands, lifting it off the table. The robot tried to struggle, but without success, and then simply hit its leg, turning into the spear again. Yana touched it with her fingers and closed her eyes. I rebooted the system. It shouldn't be a problem anymore. Right. I have another one here, though. Who's gonna deal with this mess? Wait, someone's coming. Hide the robot! It was Kristina entering the door. She saw the mess and froze in disbelief, and then she noticed me and looked directly at me. Roma, you... What have you done? Me? Kristina didn't see Yana since she was out of view. Yana took the robot and moved discreetly towards the door. No, me. Why did you do it? I wasn't ever mean to you. This mess, I'll need at least 2 weeks to restore everything. Why? Just why? Do you hate me? What the hell's going on? She was definitely going to cry helplessly. What a day. Yana sneaked behind Kristina's back and left the office with the robot. At least we are safe in that aspect. What am I going to say now? Kristina, please. I didn't do it on purpose. Listen to me. Not on purpose? How is it possible to wreck it all like this accidentally? To ruin all the papers? Well, there was this cat. A cat? What cat? I sighed and started to improvise. This cat, a simple street cat, it followed me to the hallway and I wanted to catch it and bring it outside. And then it just ran to this room and started jumping and scratching. See? There are marks on the door. These are left with cat's claws. There were a couple of deep scratches on the door that the robot made while trying to jump on it. Kristina touched them and frowned. Yes, there were no scratches before. I'm sorry I yelled at you. I deserve it. I should have made it run in another direction. Kristina sighed. Everything's a mess. Well, at least I won't need to run 100 meters. I'll stay and start cleaning up. You go, or Popolik is going to be mad. Tell him I have an urgent task from the principal, that I had to stay here and work. Do you have it, though? The principal's task? Kristina winked at me cunningly. Of course. It's not that urgent, to be honest, but if anything, I simply have to use the opportunity to skip our PE class. I don't like our PE teacher, who is famous for his harsh temper. The students gave him the nickname Big Chief for a reason. Nobody's fond of him, except our best school athletes and sports clubs, and even our other teachers don't really like him. I'm not in any of the sports clubs, and I wasn't excited to meet him, especially when the alternative was to spend the whole hour with Kristina. Well, we don't like him, so let's offer to help. Kristina, I can help you, right? What? You want to skip too? That's one reason, but not the main one. Sure I do, but I really feel ashamed. This mess is partly my fault. Ah, you do. Skipping is bad, you know that. Wait, fine, wait here. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Where are you going? To visit our to Pavel Pavlovich, of course. I'll let him know, officially, so to say. She left the office and I stayed, quietly wondering how it was even possible that our model class monitor allowed me to skip a class and almost called our PE teacher by his nickname. She scolded everyone for using it. What a day indeed. I don't know how they managed to avoid each other, but the next second Kristina left the room, Yana entered. Was everything okay? Even better. Look, she's gonna come back in a minute and we're gonna clean up this mess. Do you get it? Together. Kristina and me. 2 of us. Alone! Give me that robot of yours. I'm kissing it. Yana stared at me in surprise and gave me the spear. Roma, I'm sorry for asking. This might be a little too personal. But you do feel physical attractions to girls. Am I correct? I can't finish my research with human-robot relationships. The only exception I can work with is if you have relationships with humans of your own gender. But that's too complicated. I'd rather not. Aw, come on! That was a joke! I am not that good with humans' understanding of the concept of humor yet. What do I do now? You go to PE class, I guess. Changing your sportwear in the locker room. I stopped for a moment and decided that I have to be more specific again. In the girls' locker room. If there are some kinds of fit tests, try to go last. Then show an average result. Change back into your school uniform in the end, and we'll meet each other before our next class. Roma, I am grateful for your detailed instructions. No need to worry. I have been observing the students' behaviors for quite some time, prior to starting my test. I have learned about female students and their habits as well. I'm not going to change my clothes in the middle of a hallway or break a school record. That's probably a good thing. Also, I think the girls will be curious about how we know each other. We have to give different students similar answers, as you said before. We will tell the truth. Unacceptable! Not all of it, of course. You are my neighbor's relative, came from far away, and I'm helping you to fit in. That's it. Acceptable. However, just in case, she gave me a tiny ball. Pin it to your collar, please. I'll be able to communicate with you through it, if anything. But the people around me, it is designed to transfer sound waves through your bones using vibration. They won't hear a thing. I will use it to spy on you. Please act as you usually do. Don't spy on me. Right. Roma, you are forgetting something. Yana approached the door and smiled. This time she managed way better than the first time. However, the smile still looked a little bit off. I'm not a human. Naturally, you aren't worried that a ceiling lamp stares at you, am I right? That's different. A lamp isn't a sentient being. How do you know that? Some extraterrestrials come to Earth to live in your houses as home appliances, just like a cooling fan. Don't tell me it's from another planet. It's not. That was a joke. Was it a successful joke? Yes, I believed you. Don't worry. You actually have an amazingly small number of extraterrestrials on your planet. It is truly an accident that you've met Alexa and myself. 1,000,000 to 1 shot. She left the office and I listened to her departing footsteps. The 6-legged vandal almost destroyed the office in a couple of minutes. At the very least, made a huge mess. Papers all over the place. Things like folders and documents, cases that were on the tables and on the shelves ended up on the floor. It looked scarier than it really was, but still. I picked the papers, trying not to shuffle them, and put the folders back on the shelves. Then I collected pens and other office supplies and returned them to the table. The office became more how it was. I was putting back the last document case when Kristina entered. She checked the room and gasped in amazement. Wow, you did almost everything yourself. Well, nothing too serious, and thank you anyway. If I knew it's doable, I wouldn't have asked to let us skip the class. I honestly have zero intention to see Big Chief standing by me instead of Kristina. I had some hope deep inside and decided to make it clear. May we need to finish sorting out this mess? It was pretty huge. I wouldn't dare to ask, but since you offered, sure. There's a lot to do still. We can hopefully finish before the next class. A whole hour, Kristina. Oh yes. That's cooler than the alien girl in my apartment. Kristina showed me an army of pasteboard boxes near the table. Right, start with these. They are archive boxes. Paper just pile up every month, and we aren't allowed to throw them away since they are documents. You can't just throw away a receipt or a bill or of a purchase of 3 packages of paper fasteners. Oh no. The account department will eat you alive if you do that. So put the papers with markers inside the boxes with same colored markers. She winked at me. One fine day we are going to drop off all of it at a recycling point and double our school's budget. Okay. Gymnasium, of course. The gymnasium's budget. I'm still confused about the gymnasium academy thing. We can thank that cat, honestly. If not for it, the papers would have been lying around for another month or so. I began sorting the papers according to their markings. Nothing too difficult. Blue ones go into the blue box, yellow into yellow, green, like Kristina's eyes, into the green box. Yes! I surely would prefer standing there near the window holding her hands instead of doing the paper sort of thing. You could watch a beautiful sky with its clouds. Yana would have plenty of observational data. However, it was still nice to stay. Kristina and me, alone, keeping ourselves busy. telling casual jokes to each other every time we discover a lone sports shoe on a filing cabinet, or a carefully rolled up poster with a bodybuilder hidden deep inside the shelves and behind folders. It's my lucky day. I would have wrecked their office a long time ago if I only knew I could have just offered my help to Kristina. The office room finally looked like there never were hysterical alien robots wreaking havoc. Kristina looked at me pensively. Roma, may I take advantage of your kindness just once more? Go on. Can you climb onto the table and wipe the dust off the lamp casing? It's so dusty up there. The monitor's average height is not very impressive. We can't reach it. I glanced at Kristina with visible doubt. She wasn't that much shorter than me. She understood my glance and smiled. I was talking about our average height. Sure, I can reach it if I go up on my toes, but it isn't enough to wipe it clean. Say no more. That was very smart of me to not put on my blue socks with silly penguins this morning. If I remember correctly, I did it because our PE class. Who would have thought Kristina's gonna see them? Be careful though. There's a little switch on the back of the casing, and if you press it... It was alright too late. I accidentally touched the tiny switch without knowing it, and the casing started to slowly slide beneath my fingers. I gasped, expecting to hear the distinct, unmistakable noise of shattered glass. Kristina darted forward, stretching out her arms, and caught the casing right before the tabletop like it was a volleyball. She looked up at me, blew off a lock of her hair that covered her eyes, and smiled. The casing goes off and drops down. Yes, exactly like that. Wow, unbelievable swiftness. I was ready to see shattered glass and clean the room again. I play tennis, somewhat. Kristina gave back the casing and waited for me to get down after I returned it to its rightful place. What would I do without you? Find somebody else? She sighed. There's so much work and so few people. I don't have enough time. I can't even believe it at all. And you're making straight A's on top of everything else. You don't know what it takes. Why push yourself? Because reasons. Sorry. Let's talk about it another time. She got 2 cups of some sugar from the cupboard. Thank you very much. I reckon we deserve 2 cups of coffee, am I right? Would you? With pleasure. She only had instant coffee, but it was pretty good. Before suggesting me a cup, Kristina put some kind of powder into our coffee, just a pinch from 2 tiny jars. Is that pepper? I really took my first sip, man. Delicious. What did you add? I think I recognized vanilla scent, but what else? That's cinnamon. Noted. I'll surprise my sister tomorrow morning. She is a huge fan of coffee. Aren't you a thoughtful brother? Not really. She was looking at me with interest. It seems you're doing a great job at being the older sibling. Is it hard? It depends. I mean, I think that I'm used to it, and because of that, it's not a big deal, in my opinion. If you want, I can bring my sister to you. Great opportunity to take a break from her. I'll have to cook for myself, but I'll also be able to watch sci-fi instead of her TV series, and she won't lecture me for some time. She's younger than you, isn't she? Shouldn't you do the lecturing? Technically, I should, I guess. But it's always her, somehow. Oh, maybe I should take her after all, since you suggested so kindly. Why you look so angry when you say that? You go. I'll look at you when you bring her back, trying to pay me money for taking her away. Kristina tried to frown sternly, but her eyes laughed. Okay, I've heard that. By the way, don't want to intrude, but you were somewhat aloof this morning. You alright? I'm fine. Why are you asking? Well, I don't know. I worry about you. That's sweet. It's just, I was tired yesterday and was imagining things, I guess. Can you believe that? Thought I saw a girl in the park who popped out from the bushes. She looked like me, her hair, her uniform, like mine. I was at the nurse's office this morning. I thought that's a bad sign. I thought I'd have to plan which belongings to pack for hospital and whom to choose to delegate my responsibilities to. I felt plainly ashamed. I knew she saw what she saw, and that it really was her copy. The nurse laughed, though. Told me I need more sleep, and that's nervous exhaustion. You do overwork yourself. What do you mean? Do I look worn out? She smiled and fixed her hair. I don't mean it like that. We were here for almost an hour and nobody came in yet. It means you do everything yourself, right? It's too early. The monitors come here after classes. We all do our part. There are tons of work for everybody. She smiled dreamily and looked at the calendar on the wall. This is fine. The school year is over. I am going to only sleep for a week. Then I am going to the country for another whole week. No computers there, no papers, no documents. Do I have weird dreams? Not really. I like them. Especially that part about spending a week at the countryside with no computers. It would also be good for my sister. She spends her whole life on the computer. You sound like her father. What can I do? Our own father works a lot. We practically live alone. I guess it's a habit now. Wow, aren't you the responsible one? She stayed quiet for a minute, fidgeting with a pencil. About your sister and her computer. We can think of something. There are spare rooms, you know. You could both come visit me. My parents really spend time in our country cottage, and I get bored there occasionally. She said it with this tone, like she didn't mean it, but she looked directly at me, almost x-raying me. A summer cottage, in the country, with a girl like her, without parents. Oh my God, yes! You don't know how much you're risking here. I can take it literally. Grab Anya and come for real. Sure, do it. She paused and smiled. We've got unpainted fences and weedy garden patches. Also, the house is a mess. It wouldn't hurt to have 2 extra pairs of hands. And there was me thinking it wasn't a trick. What, changed your mind already? No way, I'm in. Wow, again. Well, we might really be able to go in 3 weeks, roughly. When our classes are over. I won't be able to see you if your plans change. Just call me. Can't do. I heaved a deep sigh. What? Why? I don't have your phone number. You don't? You should have me now then. I took my phone out of my pocket and it was switched off. That's why there were no phone calls from my dad. Maybe he called, but not to worry. You can call Anya and tell her to talk to me if anything. I tried to turn on my phone, but it produced a weak, pitiful beep, and for a brief moment, showed the lit screen with a picture of a dead battery. I don't get it. I charged it this morning. Well, it happens. She wrote her number down on a piece of paper and gave it to me. Call me when it's charged. What's your phone number, by the way? It's going to have to wait until evening. I still didn't memorize mine. That's okay. How sweet. Wait here. I'll be back in a moment. She smiled and went out with the coffee cups. We got a date with a pretty girl! She was away, and I was grinning like a dumbbell. After what happened today, even if they would kidnap me with their flying saucer, even if they would erase my memory, even if they would insert their probe into my... Wait. Could we maybe agree to no probes? Soon Kristina returned with clean cups. She looked at the papers cautiously and put a stack into her bag with a sigh. Well, we cleared out the mess. I'll work with the rest at home. So many papers at the end of the school year. The class is over. Was our big chief angry at me? Kristina corrected me pointedly. Pavel Pavlovich told me you'll still need to pass the test. Don't get excited. He agreed to fee you for the class, though, and said that I should watch over you. Sounds suspicious. I don't like it. Oh well. I have lunch now. See you after. She smiled at me, took a few steps towards the exit, then stopped and turned to face me again. Roma, thank you for all your help. That was embarrassing. Everything happened because of me, but it's also pointless to stress out about that now. Roma, your friend here is truly something, let me tell you. Yes, Yana, you should have seen her. It was nothing. I felt concerned. What happened? What happened? She almost got me during the dash. The difference between our results is less than a second, see? I kind of don't. I mean, you aren't a runner. What's the fuss about? She started 2 seconds later. I might not be a runner, but it's our school's record. And she technically broke it. Popovich was so excited. Why didn't you tell me that you're going out with a track athlete? I am not. We barely know each other. Are you sure? I mean, barely known to me. Folks somehow don't wash my sportswear. Oh, right. I shouldn't forget to wash mine today. We are not dating. We just live. Yeah, sure, why the hell not? Why not? We live in the same house. What? You, what? Stasia, an apartment house. Oh, shucks. I almost imagined a thing or two. She turned to Yana. Yana, see here. I'm thinking about you and our track team, got it? The team captain is graduating this year, and others aren't that great. We can't win anything like this. It's impossible. I won't stop badgering you. Stasia, it is impossible for her. She will leave soon. Will? What a pity. Well, it can't be helped, I guess. Stasia sighed with disappointment and got back to her desk. Did I ruin my disguise? I don't think so. Try not to break any records from now on, though, okay? I won't break any records. Didn't want to. We were lined up, and Stanislava and I were called first. I wasn't able to calculate the mean value. It's not a big deal, don't worry. What did you do with Kristina? We cleaned! And she invited me to a cabin! In particular, we cleaned up the mess, drank some coffee, we talked. It's a nice start. Too bad Snowball wasn't able to film it. Who's Snowball? We talked. Stasia told me about her pets. She likes small predators, feline. She has several domestic cats. You know that? Yeah, I've heard. I somehow ended up telling her that I also have a pet. She asked about his name. Snowball was among the most popular cat names. I don't think I fully understand. She's talking about the spider thing, you knucklehead. We'll have to discuss the robot in public events inevitably. The helper droid sounds suspicious, and we might be overheard. This shorthand, the Snowball one, will be beneficial. It decreases the probability of attracting attention. Also, she paused. I feel some kind of pleasure calling it that. I think it brings me closer to understanding of emotions. It is now a robot with a cat's name. Illogical, but enjoyable. Well, it's a decent name. Why does it follow me, though? No. It's probably Alexa's script. Fine. What's next? Next is just you walk Kristina home. I will try to join the girls and listen to their conversations. They are informative and might reveal something about Kristina. Stasia will help me line in. No, blend in with the group. Correct? Yes. Be careful. I can erase the memory if anything. What? You told me it's a joke. For the love of... Don't joke like this, alright? I have no idea what you can do, what you can or cannot do. It's just a tiny bit intimidating. I can fix that. It is crowded here, but you can ask me questions in the evening. I will answer if I can. It's not forbidden. What? Are you allowed to tell things all about yourselves? Not allowed. Not prohibited. There have been no such precedents. Thus, the situation goes in the category at the researcher's discretion. Thought about it for a moment. I see nothing wrong with answering your questions. Okay, great. We're going to get some information about the little green girls, Yana. And I guess we'll just go from there. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now, everyone. Have a good one.